Alaikum and welcome to Future Stars live on Hidayat TV. I'm your host Hassan Shah and today we are talking about the birth of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. Before I continue, I'd like to introduce my guest.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Misbah.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Mohsin.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Ali. Assalamu alaikum, my name is Zaki.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Hussein.
And like we start all the time, Misbah is going to read the surah, Mohsin is going to read the translation. So can we start them off with salawat? Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Tabat yada abi lahabin wa tab. Ma aghna anhu maluhu wa ma kasab. Sayasla naran zata lahab. Wa humratuhu hammahatal latab. في جيدها حبل من مسد صدق الله العلي العظيم.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the path of Abu Lahab will perish and he will perish. His wealth and gain will not exempt him. He'll be plunged in flaming fire, and his wife, the wood carrier, will have upon her neck a haunt of palm fiber.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. So our topic today is Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. We've already talked about in our few years on the show the birth of Imam Mahdi, haven't we? And we talked about the other Imams, haven't we? Yeah. So we won't be actually covering the birth of Imam Mahdi itself, like how he was born and him at a young age, but we were talking a little bit about a time after that. So where's Imam Mahdi now? Ali?
Hiding.
Hiding. What's that word for that we say for hiding? Saying
Ghaibat.
Ghaibat. Ghaibat. So that's like it's what is it? An
Occupation.
No, occupation, that's a job. Saying what?
Occupation.
Say that again.
Occupation.
Occultation. I don't know if you're saying it properly. Yeah. It's like he's hiding and we can't see him. And then what we're talking about today is it's like one of the things that when the sun is still shining even though the clouds are covering it and the light is still getting through to the earth, isn't it? In the mornings or throughout the day, if you can't you look around in the sky and you can't see the sun, but it's still light, isn't it? Yeah, it's because the clouds are covering though, but the light is still getting through. That's kind of the thing that's happening with Imam Mahdi as well. Yeah, so we need to understand that. So he had two hiding periods, which was the smaller one and the bigger one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Misbah?
I think one of them was called Ghaibat Sugra and other Ghaibat Kubra.
Yeah, that's right. So he's already done the minor one, and now he's still in the what is it? Yeah, the major one. So what will be one of the problems that might arise when Imam Mahdi actually comes? Zaki?
People are going to be trying to be him and then get people on the bad side.
Yeah. Some people might pretend to be him, and some people have already actually pretended to be him actually. So yeah, that's one thing. But that wasn't what I was actually looking for. So when the actual Imam Mahdi comes, what will be one of the problems at that time? Hussein?
Is it that there'll be like so much evil in the world and he's gonna have to like get rid of it and
yeah, that's true. Mohsin?
Is it like is it like a ruler trying to like he's for like
not exactly. So I'm talking about you've all mentioned like points about problems that will be outside the Muslims, like on the world. I'm talking about when Imam Mahdi comes, the problems inside the Muslims. So what would the Muslims be? Something about the Muslims you're saying?
Like they won't be like true followers. Like
yeah. So what do you do if you need to be a true follower? Zaki?
You need to be
That the
Yeah.
word begins with a al. Loyal.
Loyal.
Ali, do you know?
Nah.
Hussein?
Loyal.
Yeah, loyal. So thinking about this word loyal, so when the Imam Mahdi comes, so what will be the problem? So Muslim and loyal. So what will be the problem there? Think about it, Hussein.
Is that like when it comes, like everybody needs to like be loyal and not just be like, oh sorry, I can't come now, I'm busy or something like that.
So the biggest problem that will be at that time when Imam Mahdi comes, because what do we have to do? We have to when we know that the Imam Mahdi has actually come and he's arrived. Yeah, we have to drop everything. We can't make any excuses. We have to go to him. The biggest thing that would happen at that time is that there would be excuses. People will make up excuses that why they can't come, why they can't go help the Imam, stuff like that. Yeah, so that would be one of the biggest problems at that time. So when the Mahdi comes. So Mohsin, you've got the first thing. Can we start Mohsin off with the loud salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjuhum.
The belief in Imam Mahdi is essential doctrine deep rooted in Islamic faith. It is rather embodiment of human nature regardless of one's religious affiliations, for it is a universal desire of humans as a goal to try to achieve or at least witness realization of the ultimate objective of their existence, through which they will achieve perfection and social happiness in its eternity. Therefore, by reason, necessity and inspiration, humans will see a day when society will be replete with justice. More importantly, from a religious perspective, of the concept of the Imam Mahdi is the culmination of human struggle to their path towards Allah Almighty. It is when true justice will be established through humans' hand with the divine successor, resulting in prevalence of truth and falsehood of all of its offshots. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjuhum. Thank you for that, Mohsin. So Mohsin was talking about just the concept of Imam Mahdi, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of you give us one just point that you mentioned there. Can you remember? He talked about something about it's a universal thing. What do almost all religions, what do they have in common about something about Mahdi?
They all believe one day will come and someone special will come.
Yeah, that's kind of and people like they think about the time where it will see the full perfection of what? Hussein?
Of the world.
Yeah, perfection of society, and everything is just, everything is right, and that's like a main key point, isn't it? Okay.
For Muslims, Mahdi is gonna come, but for Christians, for their belief, they believe that Jesus is gonna come.
Yeah, that's why Christians do believe that. So, do you believe Prophet Isa is coming back as well? Yeah,
Yeah.
we do. So, there's a thing. This is going to show the importance of Imam Mahdi, because when Imam Mahdi comes, and then when Prophet Isa comes as well, what will happen that they're going to pray. You know how they're still going to keep their 5 times prayer, even when they're trying to spread justice throughout the whole world. And then the Imam Mahdi is going to tell Prophet Isa that he can lead the Salat. Yeah, and what do you think Prophet Isa would say? Okay.
No.
Yeah. He said he's gonna say that every nation has its own imam. Yes, every nation has its own imam, and you're the imam of this nation, so you are supposed to lead it. So this just shows the importance of Imam Mahdi, doesn't it? Yeah. So thank you for that, Mohsin. Misbah, you've got the next thing, so can we start? Misbah of the loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum.
Having identified that the need for the Mahdi is the subject of inner necessity that is instilled into the hearts of humans, it is essential to outline the duties of the human race as a whole in trying to achieve a purgatory state of social felicity in the outward absence of Imam Mahdi that would lay a foundation for his imminent reappearance. However, in this case of such a state being reached, it prompts one to question the fundamental motive behind the concealment of Mahdi, despite when the social and political factors are welcoming to his presence and his precepts. To this we say, yes, indeed, this is exactly where the problem lies. The principal reason that is delaying the reappearance of the Mahdi is that the people aren't ready to acknowledge the perfect leader and the perfect ideology that is to be established by him, as clearly mentioned by the Mahdi himself in one of his narration. If our Shia followers, may Allah help and succeed them to his obedience, were united in a wholeheartedly honouring the promise and obligation that is upon them, there would have been no delay in meeting us, i.e. in our reappearance, and bliss and felicity for them who would be hastened by seeing us with full knowledge and certainty of testifying to our leadership. Therefore, each and every one of us has to be consistent of their act in relation to the part we play during the occultation of Mahdi. This period has been like none other before, nor is the test upon the Muslim Ummah and humanity at large any before. With lack of direct contact with the divine leader of the time and many injustices that we have overwhelmed today's society, resulting in moral demise on another side, many seek the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and pray for the hasty reappearance of Mahdi and his promised victory. Strong faith in the promised triumph in the midst of injustice and darkness is a means of separating the true believers from the rest. A brief look into history shows the endless of these so-called followers who eventually betrayed their leaders and thus put eternal shame and disgrace on themselves. A perfect example of being the story of the inhabitants of Kufa in Iraq at the time of the great ancestor of the Mahdi, Imam Hussain, son of Imam Ali alayhi salam, for whom he weeps blood each day until the day of his reappearance. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. Thank you, Misbah. So Misbah's mentioning there that the one big question that comes up is that why is the Imam in occultation, and why is he not here spreading justice through the world right now? So and he was saying that Miss was saying that couldn't it be the right time for Imam Mahdi to come right now? So why did Miss say it was the wrong time for the Mahdi to come right now, Zaki?
Because he knows that there's bad things happening and he wants to go, but he can't, because if he goes, he's gonna be in danger. in danger because people want to be him, so people might kill him and he can't die, so he has to come on the day of after the day of judgment.
Not exactly, not exactly Zaki, but it's kind of close there. So he's saying that Miss was saying there that one of the biggest problems that that why we like why he's not coming yet. Hussein, you want to say?
Is it because that he needs 313 true followers, and like he has like there's not 313 true followers right now at this point.
So that's one of the points that that the actual our community, the Muslims aren't ready for. They aren't ready for him. Are they? Because why do you think? What was some of the points that Mr. said that why we're not ready for him? Can you remember? That we're not ready for him. Zaki?
Because we're not fully pure.
Kind of, Zaki. I mean Ali.
People won't believe it was him because they don't know what it looks like, and people will think it's another person.
That's kind of true as well. Hussein.
Is it that what's it called? We're not. At this point, we're not the best Muslims that we can be. So then, what's it called? He can't like come and.
That's one of the points as well. Our Muslims, we're not ready for him. We're not at the time. We're not at the time that we could be the best time that we at the time when the Mahdi would come that we would accept him. So this is the point that we accepting him and allowing him to come and help us, not instead of we going against him. And joining the people who are fighting against the Mahdi. So he needs to know because Imam Mahdi, he sees all this injustice, doesn't he? But do you think he doesn't want to just come?
He wants to come.
Yeah, he does want to come, doesn't he? But who's telling him that he can't come yet? Ali, Zaki?
Allah.
Yeah, Allah is telling him that he can't come. Because of the this is the problem, is that the Muslims now they are at a point where maybe that if when he will come that we're not ready for him, and then we would accept him, and then we'll join the wrong side. So that's one of the points that Misbah mentioned there. And Hussein, you've got the next thing. So can we start Hussein off with the loud salawat?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
Certainly, those fortunate and blessed individuals who will take part in this grand culmination of servitude, which will result in the prevalence of truth over all forms of falsehood, will be those whose conviction in the Mahdi and the promised day is result. The believers will be constantly tested by those whose aim is stanchly fixed in denying the Mahdi by using arguments such as his age, for the Mahdi age is now 1,176 years old. Many find it difficult to believe that a human can live for a period of this length. However, the impossibility in this objection is relative, and its revelation is to some person, place and time. What is impossibility to one person, time or place may be very possible to another, as we well know. Moreover, it should be said that that living for such a length of time is neither a scientific nor a logical impossibility. Today, scientists have succeeded in prolonging the life of certain animals hundreds of times beyond their normal lifespan by artificially creating conditions that delay the degeneration of their tissues and cells. The failure of this being effectively carried out on humans is merely due to the increased difficulties involved. However, it is in no way an impossibility from a scientific point of view to achieve this in the future. Imam Mahdi alayhi salam was born on the 15th of Shaban in the year of 255 after Hijrah. His birth was kept secret since the authorities of the time were actively seeking to execute him should he be found alive. The circumstances of his birth were therefore very similar to that of Prophet Moses alayhi salam, who was also being searched for by the authorities of his time, for the Pharaoh was well aware of the prophecy that a child would grow up to prevail over him, and his evil rule would replace this with the belief in the true one God, whose power, might and wisdom is absolute. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajil farjahum. Thank you, Hussein. So Hussein was mentioning there about the he talked about even the birth of Imam Mahdi there, talking that he was born on the
15th of Shaban.
15th of Shaban, and that was when?
Yesterday.
Yeah, that was yesterday. So any of you was fasting on that day?
I was.
Yeah, Hussein was fasting, and maybe some people at home as well, they were fasting as well because of the birthday of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. It was really a good day to fast on that day, and many people I know that were many people on that day was actually fasting, and then you could get a lot of rewards on that day. So it was a really good day to fast on. So well done, Hussein, for fasting on that day. And what else did he mention there? Can anyone remember? Zaki?
It was similar to Prophet Moses alayhi salam, because the Pharaoh knew a child would grow up and take over and then become king. So he was hunting Prophet Moses.
Yeah. So the king of that time, Pharaoh, he was actually he heard about that there will be a new boy, and then he'll guide the people at that time against any other god and bring them to the one and only God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in Prophet that would be Prophet Musa, wouldn't it? Prophet Musa alayhi salam. So it was similar to that Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, because when Imam Mahdi brought the Abbasid Khalifa, the Abbasids who were the Khalifa at the time. Remember, we've been talking about the Abbasids for a few weeks now, haven't we? Yeah. And then the Abbasids knew about this Imam Mahdi coming, because they've known about all the Imams, and they're saying, okay, Hassan Askari is the last Imam. He's the 11th Imam now. So that means after him, who will come? The Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. So obviously in their mindset they would say we need to do something to prevent and stop this, like the Pharaoh did to try to prevent Prophet Musa to come to rise, didn't he? But Allah is what? The best of planners. Yeah, the best of planners. And he found a way around Pharaoh's plan, didn't he? Yeah, Prophet Musa alayhi salam, yeah. And he actually grew in in Pharaoh's own household. So this is the thing. This is the thing, isn't it? So what other things did he mention there? Just one more. Hussein, what did you mention?
How when people debate about this and when people talk about this, that they will bring up his age, and no human can live for that long length of time. So but then people would say back to that while scientists today are making animals their lifespan longer than what they are actually. So it is not impossible for someone of this ability to live this long.
Yeah, so we'll be talking a little bit more about that, because we've run out of time for this half of the show. So we'll see you in the next half of the show, talking a little bit more about the point that Hussein just brought up. So until then, good Hafiz.